This presentation came from a work that we have done during the last year about the GeoSur program. We are going to present shortly a report on that job. For that reason, I'm going to introduce the speakers. Mr. Santiago Borero, he is the coordinator of YUR Program since this year. He was the former Secretary General of our institute, the Pan American Institute for Geography and History. He was, together with Mr. Eric Van Pra, the creators, the thinkers of developing the GeoSur program. Also, I would like to introduce Mr. Eric Van Pra. He was the former GeoSur coordinator, and right now he is the liaison to the Pan American Institute through the national section of the United States from ESRI. And also, I would like to introduce Mrs. Virginia Fernandez. She is the director of the National Environmental Agency of Uruguay. She is going to present the results of the real application of our project during the last year. So I would like to ask Mr. Santiago Borero to do his presentation. Me pidieron que fuéramos muy estrictos en el tiempo porque el almuerzo no.
Okay. Thank you very much, Secretary General of the PIKE, for your introduction. I'm going to present a general framework and an introduction to the GeoSur program to you. And Eric will be much more into the components and the technology platform and architecture of the program. And then we are going to have our colleague from Uruguay, and she is going to present a specific case in accordance to the experience she had in this project with the funds incoming from the Eye on Earth initiative. GeoSur is about spatial data, it's about mapping services and applications for improved planning and decision-making for the sustainable development in Latin America and in the Caribbean. Oops. Okay, well, it doesn't come back. So, okay, but the first idea is just to share with you that GeoSur is a program run in a collaborative format with the Pan American Institute of Geography and History, and that the CAF is a development bank created in 1970, made up by 19 countries of Latin America and the Caribbean. CAF is a user-oriented organization providing multiple financial services to clients in the public and private sectors. And more importantly, probably, the key topics currently are including climate change and environment, cities and urban development, just in the previous session was outlining, energy, water, and road infrastructure, telecommunications, and ICT, and social inclusion, education, and productive information. I have been working for 40 years in the area of development, 25 plus specialized in the area of spatial information and development. And I'm not mentioning this just to give you an idea of what I believe has been a long career, but to put into context the relevance of this program. I very much appreciate the invitation and the role and contribution of the Eye on Earth, and particularly the work collaboration in the key message of Eye on Earth. I think that the alliance between the partners, the GEOs, the Eye on Earth, is very sound, and it's very sound to developing nations. Because when we are at a meeting like this one, in a way, we see what is the future. We see what is the vision, even for us. But what is happening to those in developing nations, and especially in those lagging? And after all of this, all that has happened in these recent 40 years, they still are having strong difficulties to catch up with new trends and to respond to societal needs. GeoSur then is a collaborative program. I just wanted to, the presentation is going forward, but I wanted to share with you a reflection. It is important that the UNGGIM initiative has been established recently, since 2011. However, even the message is clear that there is need for a spatial data infrastructure in place in every country, and that the mandate is clear in that sense to the governments. Nothing is said about the type of organization that we need in order to comply with this purpose. In my view, we need to really, and we are hoping from the UNGGI initiative, to say something about the need to empower national spatial authorities. This is a message that has to be delivered clearly and soon to authorities and governments all over the region. Of course, there are exceptions, and there are institutions that are providing mapping and spatial data services at a great level, but in the average, we need to empower our national authorities. GeoSur is an innovative, adaptable, and reliable regional program led by the CAF and the PIC, as I mentioned. It's a regional service of geographic information, a network of producers and consumers of geospatial information, a unique regional public good in the region. And for all of this, the GeoSur mission is to make available, easy to discover, and to apply national and regional spatial data sets for development. Eric is going to talk in much more detail about the specific technical components, but it is good to introduce to you that the basic architecture, as it was conceived from the beginning, is still perfectly valid, and that is that we at the GeoSur have a regional geoportal, a decentralized network of web mapping services, a regional map viewer combined with a search for data tool, and a topographic processing service that, when was introduced, was really the first one in the developing world. And another component that has a different approach from a technology point of view, capacity building, is a key component for the GeoSur program. GeoSur, as Rodrigo mentioned, was conceived with the ideas of Eric Van Pra and myself, and that was 8 years ago. In 8 years ago, I think the program has achieved a lot, and the performance is something that we are very happy of. Today, we have 26 countries participating, and for instance, we have over 2020 metadata available, with metadata files exceeding 14,000. However, that's just a number. We know that there is metadata of good quality, and there is metadata that is in lack of standards and other components in order to really allow easy discover and easy to apply spatial data. I would like to end up by making a reference to some of the GeoSur achievements and some ideas about what the priorities will be in the near future. I would like to restate on one side, outlined from these achievements, the TPS tool. The TPS tool, the topographic processing service, is of relevance. For instance, nowadays, is being intensively used by the state of Loreto in the Amazons to produce contour lines in a new spatial database, as they are moving from 2,500 scale to a much more detailed 100,000 scale that for the Amazons is what they are expecting. So directly they are using this TPS tool that is available at the GeoSur. In terms of decision-making tools currently, we are in the process of building what probably will be called ClimaSur. Of course, when Eric and I designed it, we thought we named it the program GeoSur, but in reality, we are talking about Latin America and the Caribbean. And if we consider the vision that along with the PIKE we are developing in terms of producing a new spatial data set for the whole Americas at the scale of 250,000, really we are having and developing a continental view. And that view and at that scale will be perfectly in compliance with the new vision of the UNGGIM about having a global data set at that scale. So we are preparing ourselves to that purpose, and that's one of the key products we are leading with the GeoSur. With this, I guess I am just going to make a reference to the action plan. We have 10 items that are our priorities, but I would like to outline 4 of them. The first one is that we are intensively trying to consolidate the key components that identify GeoSur, and that is going to be much more specifically referred to you by Eric in his presentation. We would like to be much more focused on the community of users. When you visit our portal, for those specialists in the GIS, it's probably easy to discover and to take advantage of the tools available at the GeoPortal. But for the big majority, the non-specialized community, I don't think that the GeoPortal is still that friendly. We will be continuing supporting the process to confront the problem, always problem in developing nations, of the lack of fundamental core data sets. And we would like to consolidate the relationship that we have with the other institutions participating at the regional level in the region. That is the Pan American Institute of Geography, the UNGGIM for the Americas, the CIRGAS, responsible for the unified reference system in the region, and of course, the GeoSur. So in sum, I guess this is the general framework I can provide to you for this presentation, and without saying any more, I am very pleased to give the floor to my colleague, Eric Van Pra, former coordinator of the YUR program.
Okay, wish me luck with this machine, because it seems to work sometimes, sometimes it doesn't. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm very happy to be presenting today. I think if you could put the second presentation, I can start showing you. So Santiago was giving you kind of a broad overview of how GeoSur works. I'm going to be kind of peeking under the hood. I said, and that means showing, so Santiago was showing you the car from outside. I'm showing you the car from the inside. So kind of, you know, how does it work? What are the components of GeoSur? How everything interoperates. So we have basically 3 levels, you know, and Santiago was briefly referring to this. So we're working at a regional level, that's all of Latin America and the Caribbean. We have a lot of agencies that have national data. That might be ministries of public works, mapping agencies, agencies like that. And we also have, since 2 or 3 years ago, a lot of local agencies, cities, states, municipalities. So you have kind of different levels of information available through GeoSur. You know, in many ways, it's really a network of spatial data providers, if you could see it that way. Everything that I will show you today is in geosur.info. That's a URL, so you can get all of the information from that site. The portal is available in Spanish and English. Okay, so what do we have there? You know, we have a regional map service. It's built with Esri technology. It was put together by the US Geological Survey. So GeoSur has been working with the USGS, you know, for 9 years now. And so everything that is regional is hosted in a regional map service that is actually being operated on behalf of CAF and PAGE by the USGS, and you have close to 700 data sets on this service, which is freely open to the public. You know, everything is available for download. There is a lot of data. I would really like to have time to show it to you, all of it, So I will show some key data sets that we have available. One of them is this map of floods that I show here. So what you can see is actually everything that was flooded year by year since 2000 through 2014. This is a collaboration work of CAF with the University of Colorado, the Dartmouth Flood Observatory. They run the systems, and you can see, you can consume the services from GeoSur. You also have another active service that is near real time, so you can see what is being flooded today. It's a great service, it's OGC compliant, so it's a WMS service, also operated by the Dartmouth Flood Observatory, but you can get the information and view it from the GeoSur Regional Map Service. So, really great data sets that were not available, even 2 years ago. So this is brand new. CAF was really interested in this because you can plan infrastructure, using flooded areas to see where areas are flooded, fairly frequently. This is quite recent. This is maybe a month ago. This is, as some of you might know, there was a big flood in Argentina. So it's showing in red the areas that were actually flooded. The beauty of this is that you can see what is flooded today, as I was mentioning. So you can really take action if you are a civil defense agency or something to see which areas are impacted, how many people you need to send, supplies to, things like that. A lot of data, regional habitat change. This, I think, is coming from the USGS. This is between 2004, 2013. So I'm just giving you a peek of close to 700 regional data sets that are available in the map viewer. This is a collaboration with an NGO from Paraguay, Guira, Paraguay. So they're mapping every month what is being deforested in the Gran Chaco area. And you can see in black everything that was deforested over the last 2 years. And we were trying to partner with people that are doing environmental auditing to see if even legal action could be taken for people that are doing deforestation in these areas. Well, Santiago mentioned the topographic processing service, so I will go into detail for that. Also the TPS, yeah, this is a bit more detail. So what I want to say here is that all of these services are available, are totally free to the public. All of the regional data is available for download. So we have a combination of things in GeoSur. Everything that is regional was built with Esri technology, as I mentioned, with collaboration with the USGS. Of the partner agencies, many of them are using open source software. Many of them are using ARC technology. But basically, the idea is that you use standards and protocols so the whole system can interoperate, basically. What else have GeoSur been doing? So once you have this data, a whole world of possibility really opens. This is using the digital elevation model, the SRTM 30 meter for Latin America, combining that with rainfall data and flow data to do hydropower analysis. This is a project that was started by the mapping agencies of Central America. By PAGE, CAF provided a bit of funding to do an integrated Mesoamerican map. It's done, and it is available in the GeoSur website and portal. And well, that was quick, sorry about that, but that's just to give you a brief overview of what GeoSur has been doing over the last 8-9 years. So I put my name, Rodrigo, and Santiago, if you want any more information. We'll be here, so we'll be happy to talk, and I turn it over to Virginia. Thank you.
Lo adelanta simplemente, okay. Pero dale, porque adelanta, tarda un segundito en tomar.
Okay. Hello, and thank you for the brave people that still is here, and and thank you for your attendance. Now it's time to lunch, and also it's time to tell my story. That is a story that began not so far in time, because it began about start at 2 years ago, but it's a little far away from here. I'm coming from Uruguay. Perhaps you know where is it, but it's a small country that is between two big ones. And it has about a little more than 3 million people, but it has real pressure during the summer and by the tourists especially. And it has, although it is a small country, it's not so extensive, but it has a lot of ecosystems, like wetlands, really important for the bird migration, remaining dunes, and grasslands with a lot of a lot of species there. So DINAMA is the organism of Uruguay that was trusted by the state to development environmental politicals, to preserve this kind of ecosystem algae. So I'm from there. I lead our group that is a division of information system, and it has two parts. One part is about the IT applications, and the other is an observatory. So we have to manage to improve the information to make better decisions and policies. So in this group, we find a great opportunity with the program to improve our development. Especially, we have help and support from different institutions, technical support, and also we have capacity building to make what we want, that was to spread the information, because for Uruguay also is a kind of transparency to put it in order that the society can access to that. Here you have just a little graph about how the information flows, that is from our databases, that kind of databases integrate information from local government, for the national government, and also from another organizations. And then we tried to identify from where is that information. It was very important for us to add the space information, because we want to know what happened and where happened and when. So that information is linked with the web page to visualize, and is displayed in that kind of servers. So people can access to the information and also bring some information to us, and we put the information in the cloud. This is our first result, where you see the green squares and yellow squares are the projects that have environmental impact on the land. And also you can see there how is monitoring that impact. So you can see how sensors that are in real time, like the graph you have there is about air quality. And there you see also a stream, a river that is with different colors. That means what kind of, how is the quality of the water. So you can see if oligotrophic or something like that. And also we link that information, that is spatial information, to a methodological sheet that is that explain how we calculate that, in this case, an index, and how frequent and how you can read that information. So that is very important for us, and we also link this information to a metadata. Well, I think that is all I have to say to you, and also to thank to the organizers and people that make real that I am here. So thank you for.
Well, I think I'm on time. We have just a few minutes for make this session. Of course, you have the presence of Eric, Santiago, and Virginia here. If you have any question, please contact them directly. I would like to thank all of the speakers, the panelists, for their presentations. That's very important for us because it shows the results of this initiative. In the case of Uruguay, was the application and the capacity building in order to support them. I know that they were working before our project, but for many years, but it's some kind of support in order to help to develop this kind of services, especially the environmental indicators and web map services. That was the goal of this specific project. Well, I would like to ask you to give a final applause to our speakers and thanks them.